Welcome to Get a Clue, Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game or a list of games. Today, I am going to share with you 20 plus quick comments about games that can fit the October theme without being horror filled. I don't like horror movies or ugly Cthulhu type monsters or even zombies. I'm just not into them. But I come to find out that if I look for, well, I do have a zombie game. If I look for monsters, ghosts, or witches, I do have a few games to share with you. And so I'm just going to give you quick lists and like a sentence or two about each one. And maybe these are games that you have that bring you to mind that it's something you could play this month. These are, for the most part, they're all casual level. Let's just say that. They're all casual level. Some of them are, well, one or maybe two are medium, but for the most part, I'll point them out. But most of them are very family friendly and you could play it with kids. Some you could play with teenagers or young adults. And yeah, let's get a clue about this list of 20 plus Halloween non-horror October theming games. And I'm starting from the smallest box to the largest box. So it's not in order of complexity. It's not in alphabetical order. It's not in order of my preference. I will just give you, oh, got itch there. I'll just give you a hint about it. So we're going to start with some, and I'm going to tell you if I've played it or not, because about half of these I haven't played yet. I'm waiting to be around someone who I can play it with. Now, I have played Something Wild, but not the Something Wild Disney villains. This one is got all the different villains, and the cute thing, I have 3 or 4 different types of Something Wild. One is a Christmas one, and one is a Christmas one is a Mickey Mouse friendly one, and then I have the Disney villains. And they all basically play similar. If you're interested, I've done a video on Something Wild already, and or in last year's Christmas list talked about the Santa Claus one. So, Something Wild, Disney villains. And sticking with Disney villains, and if you want to do a social deduction game that's not werewolves or demons, you can do Gathering the Wicked, which is a very simplified version of social deduction. And again, it's using the Disney villains. See those? Cool. I love them. But if you've ever played werewolves or Blood in the Clock Tower or Silent Hitler or any of so many different social deduction games that are out there right now, this is just another social deduction game, and I actually bought this at Walmart. I think I bought this either at Walmart or Target. So yeah, they are very accessible type games and inexpensive. Now this one I have not played. It's Hero Realms. There's a Star Realms, which came out before Hero Realms, and then a Star Realms second edition, whatever. It came out after Hero Realms. I don't have the space ones because space is not a major theme for me, but I do like fantasy and all. And I chose this because you do have these monster type of creatures in Hero Realms. It's a card game, pure card game. And it's a little thinky, but not hard at all. And it's a nice, small, compact box. I have not actually played this one yet. In fact, yeah, lots of my small ones I haven't played yet. Ooh, I need to get a gaming group together in my new city. Anyway, Hero Realms. If you want a little bit more gory looking art, if you have teenagers, young adults, or adults who don't want the little Disney theme, it's not a grotesque type of thing, but it's there. Now, what I happened to get this at a very good price. In fact, I paid $5 for this. It's Broom Service, the card game. There's Broom Service, and then there's Broom Service, the card game. Basically, it's cards, and you can see it's in shrink wrap, so I have not played it yet. But there are very good reviews on Broom Service and Broom Service, the card game. So I suggest if you want something that's themed of a witch, then you have Broom Service. And like I say, it's a card game. I happen to get it's not, the card game one is not an expensive, it's like $10 or so, maybe 12, but I got it at a really good deal. So, but Broom Service is another one that you might be interested in doing. I do want to check something. Let me see. It does say 8+ and 3 to 6 players, 15-30 minutes. So it's a quick game. It's not a hard game. No, not a long game. I'm using this one if you do want to go with the whole werewolf thing. This is the ultimate werewolf. There's a lot of different werewolf alliterations of this game. I do have One Night Werewolf over there, but I didn't figure I was going to give you, show you 2 of them. But this is the ultimate werewolf, which is all kinds of pure social deduction. Plays 5 to 75. I would not go past 15 or 20, but you could do. There's enough cards in the ultimate werewolf box, deluxe edition, that you could actually have 75, up to 75 people. It plays in 30 to 90 minutes, depending on how many people you have and how many nights. But it does say 14+, because this is a social deduction game where you really do have to play it up. You want to play your part, and children don't quite get that necessarily. My most recent purchase, I think out of all of these, might be Campy Creatures. Again, I like campy horror, not real horror. I like campy stuff. So this is, the Blob and the werewolf and, Creature from Black Lagoon, King Kong, aliens. It's like all those campy creatures. Again, it's a card game, basically. And I am looking forward to, I want to be with a few people that I might be able to get to play this game with me this week. It plays 2 to 5 players. It says 14 and up, but I don't think it really needs to be that old. From watching the gameplays on YouTube, 20 to 30 minutes, so it's a short game. It's creature, but campy creatures are campy creatures. There's not going to be any scary stuff in there. Now, the only zombie thing that I actually own is Zombie Dice, and I have Zombie Dice Deluxe. Both are play the same. You have the dice. You're trying to, you are the zombie, and you're trying to catch brains, and not get shot blast. And it's a very, very, very simple game, and it's just throwing dice and trying to get brains and avoid the shotgun blast. This is a brain, this is a shotgun blast. You don't want those. And then you also have these, they don't show, oh, here, you can barely see it there, sorry. Footprints. They run away. So yeah. Zombie dice. Very simple, very easy. Very easy. Okay. This is a roll and write. This is the first roll and write here, and I'm not sure. I think it's the only roll and write right now. Deadly Doodles. I got it because it's got the dragon there, but it also has little monsters. It's a roll and write dungeon, crawl, but not really. It just happens to be that there are monsters, and you need to get X out an axe to kill the monster, the appropriate monster. There are treasure bags, and there's a dragon. Very easy. It plays up to 4. There is a second edition, but the second edition is, or a second Deadly Doodles 2. It's a little bit harder, so if you're looking for an entry level, the original Deadly Doodles should be right up your alley. It's a draw and draw game, or flip and draw, or flip and fill. There we go. You have the roll and write and flip and fill, and that's a flip and fill. And I have played that a lot. I've played it solo. I've played it with other people. So yeah, and Zombie Dice I have played a lot, solo and with other people. So yes, I have played some of these games. Monstrosity, this is the Target version, so it looks a little different. The original high-end version is a white background or whatever, but basically you are drawing monsters from memory. One person looks at a picture of a monster for like 30 seconds or something, and then they put it down and they describe it to everyone, and everyone draws what they're describing, and then whoever draws the closest to what the original was gets points, and that's that. Okay, let me move all of these back over here so that they're out of my way. Sorry. That's the small pile. That was just 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games in my towering small game pile. So now I am going to go to, okay, this next one, actually, let me take a sip first. Okay, I got this because it's adorable and I love Mickey. It is not easy to drink out of, just saying, because it's my first time drinking out of it. Not easy. Okay, so the next one is a game called Cryptid. This is a little bit above. This is in the medium range. It's not in the casual gamer range of complexity, but it's pure deduction. You're trying to find out where the cryptid is hiding on this board. I avoided this game for a long time because I didn't like this. I thought, I don't like horror. I don't like ugly monsters and stuff. And I saw that and I was like, no. Until I saw the board. This is what the board looks like. There's no monster showing up on the board. There's no monsters on any cards. You have little cubes, you have little circles, wooden pieces, and this map of different terrain. And you're just trying to figure out which one of these hexes is the only one that the cryptid could be in. It's pure deduction. And as a deduction game, I loved it. I'm horrible at it. I never can find that stupid cryptid before somebody else does, but I love the challenge of trying to whittling it down. What information do I know? What do I still not know or am not sure of? Yes, love it. Okay, I'm starting to put a pile down here. Now this one, and I have obviously played Cryptid. Lousy at it. Last year when I was getting together some Christmas themed games, lists online included Gingerbread House. And I guess it's because the concept of gingerbread house, you make gingerbread houses at Christmas time. This is not a Christmas game. This is far better for October and Halloween than it is for Christmas, because the gingerbread house is the gingerbread house of the witch in the story Hansel and Gretel. And in this game, you are the witch trying to capture all these different storybook characters who come and start eating up your house. And you're trying to stop them from eating your house, so you're trying to capture them so that they will stop eating your house. That is what this game is all about. So you have the Scarecrow, and you've got Puss in Boots, and you've got Hansel and Gretel, and you've got, it's like all these different characters from the fairy tales, and the Wicked Witch, who's actually you. And by the way, it's a Phil Walker Harding game, and I love Phil Walker Harding. It's not a very complex game. It's a little on the higher end of casual, or maybe even across the line as a very low end of medium, maybe medium light. But it is by Lookout Games, and I highly suggest it for this time of year, not Christmas. Then the next game is King of Tokyo. It's all about monsters, but not scary monsters. It's basically Yahtzee on steroids. You're throwing dice and you're battling your monsters with the throw of the dice. You're trying to take over the city of Tokyo. And so, I mean, literally there's just 2 spots on the board, and you have cards, and you roll dice, and that's basically all the different parts of this game. It has been around for a few years, not too many, but a handful or so, maybe a little bit more than that. It does have other versions, a darker version, and I think there's a New York one, King of New York. The darker version, if you want something darker, go for it. I like the campy and the bright colors of the original King of Tokyo. And so this is King of Tokyo. Let me give you some info. Plays 2 to 6, 30 minutes. It's a quick game. There you go. A few more monsters. But then we go back to Horrified, the original Horrified, not the American Monsters one, but the original campy Universal movies from the 40s and 50s. You got all these different monsters that could be in the game. You choose which ones you want to vanquish, and it's beautiful board. I've done a video on it. I have played it several times. You get these cute little miniatures for the different monsters, and then standees for the other players. You and your other scientists and important people, and all the villagers also have little standees. It's a wonderful game. It's cooperative, so great family game because it is cooperative. Parents can help children. I would say it depends on if your child is a gamer or not. If your child has been raised playing a lot of games, then 8, 9 years old is fine. Other than that, let's see, what do they suggest for age? 10 and up. But I think if they are used to playing games, especially if, since it's cooperative, this is a good one, especially for this time of year. Horrified. Campy Horrified. Then here's one that I know really nothing about the characters. I do believe they're positive characters on the Disney Channel, but I don't watch Disney Channel. I don't have children, so I'm not into all the Disney stories. But Gargoyles Awakening is a game where the gargoyles, first of all, you have these cool miniatures of the gargoyles, and they're the ones beating the bad guys, winning over the bad guys. So apparently the gargoyles, who are as ugly as I go when it comes to monster looking things, they're the good guys in this game. And if you have someone who likes the Disney gargoyles, or just this looks interesting to you, it is kind of like a 3D board. It has buildings built up on it so that the gargoyles can jump up and be on top of the buildings and see what's going on around them, and have access to other parts of the board. So gargoyles, another choice. And then this one I have not taken out of shrink wrap, but I have played it. I played it at Dice Art Retreat, and when I played it, I knew that I wanted it. And it's Grim Masquerade. Oh, we're just kind of like reflecting all over the place. Oh, there's me. And someplace around here is my dog. Anyway, Grimm's. Let's see if I can do it that way. There we go. A little less shining. The Grim Masquerade is each person is playing a different character from different Grimm's fairy tales, and so some of them are little, the big bad wolf is that one, and there's one other that's more evilish looking. Well, there's a couple. There's like 3 that are a little on the. Okay, that's the bad guy in the story. Rumpelstiltskin? Could that be Rumpelstiltskin? I can't remember. Yeah, I think that is Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, and I think the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Those are the 3 scariest looking creatures. In fact, there's the Beast right there. So, yeah. So it's a light game. It's you're trying to avoid being found out what character you are, but you're trying to find out who the other characters are. So it is a lightly social deduction, but it's a deduction game. You're trying to figure out who is who and who they are not. So Grim Masquerade is just it's pleasant, it's short, it's sweet. Let's see. Find what they say about it. 2 to 5 players, age 8 and up, 20 to 40 minutes, and I can attest that that is true. And I bought it because I liked it that much. Next one, especially if you have kids, they say 3 to 5 players, 25 to 50 minutes. It's a simplified version of Betrayal at House on the Hill. And it's the Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. And I got it because I'm not sure I really care to deal with Betrayal at House on the Hill. Yeah. I might try it one day. I haven't tried that one at all, but I love Scooby-Doo. And to include this, I didn't want to just include games that were mystery games, or else I would have put in Rear Window and all those kind of games, or even Clue. But I did look at it and oh yeah, there is a monster in the house. So yeah, that fits his bill. But especially if you have younger kids and are interested in something a little bit more their level, Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. Now, going back to Disney's Haunted Mansion. There are 2 versions of this, the Disney World Haunted Mansion and the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. I do know that the Disneyland Haunted Mansion currently on Amazon is like half the price of the Disney World one. This is the Disneyland one because why pay $21 when I could pay $11? Really, which is what I actually paid for this. But it is a cool game. It's got the traveling ghosts are the hitchhiking ghosts. Hitchhiking ghosts are little miniatures, and it's the main rooms of the haunted mansion. And this thing here rotates, and it's really cool. And it's ghosts, Disney style, So it's not going to be overly scary at all. It's more of a set collection type of thing than anything. So yeah, Disney's The Haunted Mansion is another suggestion. And then because at first I wasn't going to use this because I was not looking for mystery solving games as much. Hold on a second. I need another sip. Excuse me. But then I remember that this one actually has a ghost in it. In fact, the game master is a ghost, supposedly, in the game Mysterium. Yes, I have played this. And so, yeah, it's a ghost trying to get the other people to figure out who killed them, where, and with what. And so, Mysterium is definitely something that has that. It's kind of, if you have someone who likes games like Clue or deduction games, Mysterium is one of those. There's also Mysterium Park, which is a simplified version, so that might be another choice. If you're just looking for the mystery part and not the ghost part, then Rear Window plays almost exactly like Mysterium, except that it's deduction and occasionally will have a murder, not always. So it's not really the October Halloween concept, but Mysterium does have a ghost in it. I've played it several times. It's for 2 to 7 players. Takes around 45 minutes, and they say 10 plus. Probably about right. Okay, now the next one is one that I had put off buying for a long time because I'm not into monsters, but I played this at Dice Art Retreat, and it's really just a puzzle game, the kind of game that I like. I like deduction games and I like puzzle games, and so when I played this, I'm here like, this is like Cascadia, but with bosses, with overbosses, with quote monsters. It's basically very similar to a simplified version of Cascadia. The theme is totally different. You have a board and you're picking up tiles and then little tokens, and you're placing the way you place the tiles and the tokens on your board depends on where you place them and how you work them to what your points are going to be at the end of the game. It's a puzzly, tile laying puzzly thing that is one of my favorite types of games. So once I played it and realized that that's the type of game it was, I'm here going, plus, oops, there are, quote, monsters in it, but it's not a scary, serious monster. And if you see them, they're like this big. It's not like this. It's this big. So Overboss, a little info about it. 1 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, 20 to 30 minutes, and that's about right. Yep. And all of us who played it really enjoyed it. That time I played at Retreat, we're all gamers, and so but it's a casual level, very casual level, very family friendly. Now, if you have kids or old people, grandparents who remember the cartoon Wacky Races, here's a game, play with your grandchildren, because it's extremely simple. It's they say 14 plus, but I'm here going, no. I mean, a 7-8-year-old should be able to play this. It's almost, you're just playing cards to move your car to that kind of terrain further up the line. I mean, that's, you can play this with a young child. They might not get the strategy yet, but this is a theme that the grandparents, age me, I remember watching Wacky Races on Saturday morning cartoons. Now, most of them are not, you look at that and go, well, what's that got to do with monsters? I'm stretching it a little on this one. If you look over here, you've got one of the vehicles is kind of like a take on the Munsters type thing, you know. So you have this monster family, or this monster group with this dragon, whatever, in their cart. And so I'm stretching it a little bit with Wacky Races, but I figured I'd include something that was very light and very friendly and very colorful and not scary at all. And it comes with all of these miniatures. All the vehicles come in that little miniature form. And so if you're looking for something that's much lighter or much friendlier looking than Ghosts and Goblins, Wacky Races. Another one that would be great with kids also, it's 2 to 4 players, ages 7 to 99, is Labyrinth. Now there is also, if you have really young children, there's also a Labyrinth Junior or begin. Yeah, there's a children's version of Labyrinth, but it's really not as complicated. The full size is 7 by 7 grid. The children's is a 5 by 5 grid. So but it plays the same. In this one, you do have a few monsters and a few ghosts that are on the board. You know, see, there's a ghost there, and I think that's another ghost up here. And yeah, you got this ogre here. So it's, you know, it's a cutesy thing, and there are little things like this. But you know, if you want something light but still, you know, Halloweeny, or you know, the kind of theme, Labyrinth is a very friendly version of something like that. And last but not least, well, maybe some of you might think it's least because it is a mass market version, and it's a mass market game. But you know, the name of my channel is Get a Clue, C-L-U-E, because I fell in love with the game Clue when I was 9 years old, and that's what got me started in realizing that not everyone liked to play games as much as I did. But because of that, I collect Clue, and one of the mass market versions is this Clue Disney Villains. And again, you just have these Disney version of monsters or bad people. And so I figured we'd include, we started with Disney villains, we'll end with Disney villains. The Clue, it plays just basically like Clue. It's just Disney villains instead. Disney's most mischievous villains are teaming up to steal all the magic in the universe. So instead of killing, if you don't want a game that where there's murder, they're stealing magic. Okay, and they're using a club, a mirror, a trident, a lamp, a wand, and a flower, depending on which one they are. But yeah, so that's Clue Villains. I do have a high-end edition right up there. That's Clue Villains, but the higher-end edition. But this is one that you can find in Target and maybe even Walmart. So yeah, so I tried to pick stuff that is readily available, and that's it. Those are all the ones that I have up to now. I hope one or two of these kind of caught your interest. And some of them I've done videos about specifically. Not all of them, but some of them I have. And so anyway, there you have it. You got a clue about a bunch of games that you could play this month in October. All about monsters or witches or ghosts, but not taking them very seriously. Just like my little Mickey-eared jack-o'-lantern. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week, happy gaming, and God bless you and your family. Until next time, bye.